What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. Today we are coming to you from Newport News Campground, right beside Newport News Park in Newport News, Virginia. We decided to come over here, bringing Dylan over to see some of the history in the area, Yorktown Battlefield, Jamestown settlement, and then visit Colonial Williamsburg. I think the plan for today is going to be to do Yorktown Battlefield along with the American Revolution Museum that they have there, and then take the Colonial Historic Parkway over to Jamestown settlement and try to get all that stuff in today. We're here for a few days, so going to try to get our exercise in by doing some walking around down there. Kind of play it by ear as far as when we go see Colonial Williamsburg, but we've read some mixed reviews. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we've seen said it's more of a tourist trap or it's becoming real touristy. So we're going to try to do this trip as cheap as possible. You know, we don't want to spend a tremendous amount of money. I think there's a lot we can see here for free based on the research that Eric has done and some things that we kind of have on our list. We're going to get on the road and head to Yorktown Battlefield. Out here this morning walking around the Yorktown Battlefield. We're taking the car tour, so it's a self-guided drive around the loop. You can pick up a CD in the visitor center, or you can just grab the map and it kind of gives you the spots, tells you the significance of each location, each stop on the car tour. So spending a beautiful morning out here close to the water, walking around the battlefield, taking in a lot of history. Dylan is soaking it all up so far. This is the location where the Americans brought in the big guns to finish off the British. And man, oh man, they weren't playing around. Look at the size of this thing. I don't think I would want to be on the receiving end of that or these. As you walk around out here on this battlefield, it's so peaceful and quiet, and it's just hard to imagine the chaos that was going on here during that time. I mean, it's beautiful out here. It's a beautiful, bright, blue, sunny sky day. You're right close to the river. It's beautiful. But the amount of chaos that must have been happening when they were unloading all these cannons on the British and the British retaliating had to be just unbelievable. Unbelievable. We're now at Surrender Field, and this is where General Cornwallis surrendered to Washington's army.
is the place. On this field, October 19, 1781, the soldiers of General Charles Lord Cornwallis's army surrendered their arms and regimental flags. They came after 3 weeks of siege, cut off by land and sea, no longer able to bear the intense hail of American and French cannon shot. Quiet fell on the field. It was all over, or almost. 12 years would have passed before a treaty was signed in Paris, but the last major battle had been fought.
That is exactly what it is. Were you in a historic house named after you here?
Alright, so yesterday the plan was to go to Yorktown Battlefield and visit Jamestown Settlement. It didn't quite happen that way. Yorktown Battlefield took quite a bit longer than we were thinking, which is fine. It's just spread out. So by the time you drive to each individual point, get out, kind of check the area out, see what there is in that area, then it ends up taking a little bit longer to drive that that loop that they have for you all laid out.
Yeah.
So not a bad thing. We enjoyed it. It was awesome seeing all the history and just kind of taking it all in yesterday in the battlefield. After we left, after we left the battlefield, we went to the museum, the American Revolution Museum, which was awesome. Had a lot of really cool stuff from that time period.
Awesome is an underestimate. What?
Understatement.
Awesome is an understatement.
Yeah, Dylan really enjoyed it. There's a lot of, they had a lot of very cool things from the Revolutionary War and just from that whole time period there. Price wise, it was $15.75 for adults, $7.75 for kids. I would say if you're not a pretty hardcore history buff and really into that time period, I'm not sure if the value is there. I don't know.
But if you're a history buff, definitely check it out.
Yeah, it was worth it for us because it's something that Dylan was really into, really wanted to see. I don't know. We were on the fence about it, I guess. A lot of the interactive exhibits were closed because of COVID. They wanted to limit how many people were touching things. So maybe that took away from it a little bit.
Yeah.
They have an outdoor exhibit area set up with a recreated farm and recreated colonial encampment. So, you know, like I said, we were on the fence. We were on the fence, but I do feel like it kind of gives you a little more of the full experience of Yorktown if you do visit that, either before or after checking out the battlefield. Maybe it may even be a little better to check out the museum first and then go tour the battlefield, because if you go to the museum, you'll get a more of a feel for the time period and the era and what was happening during that time, and then you can go tour the battlefield and kind of have that as a reference point when you're seeing all these different areas and they're talking about the encampments that were out there. So that might be a better way to do it. I don't know. We enjoyed it either way.
Yeah.
So all that being said, today we're going to go check out Jamestown Settlement. So we're getting ready to load up. We're going to head over. Ready to go check out Jamestown?
Yeah.
Alright, so there's a bit of confusion as to Jamestown Settlement, Historic Jamestown. We wanted to come to Historic Jamestown. Jamestown Settlement is a private museum area that's affiliated with the American Revolution Museum that we went to yesterday. So, based on going to that already, we really wanted to come to see Historic Jamestown, so that's where we're at. Historic Jamestown is run by the National Park Service, which is where we were intending to come to. So, that being said, we got here. We got our cancellation stamp for the National Park book, and now we're going to take a walk, as they got it all one-way traffic, so we're going to take a walk around here, and then we're going to go out and do the island drive they have here as well. So this monument was built in 1907 to commemorate the 300th anniversary of the settlement here at Jamestown.
No, Emma, stop.
floor.
Wow.
It's the original floor. Wow. All right, so we just wrapped up here at Historic Jamestowne. So I think where some of the confusion comes in between Historic Jamestowne, which is run by the National Park Service, and Jamestown Settlement is the fact that they're very close together. They're just right down the street from each other. And online on Google, when you're looking at reviews, a lot of people get the review on the wrong place. So people will be reviewing Historic Jamestowne here, and they'll leave it on the Jamestown Settlement website, or vice versa. I will say this place was amazing. This was well worth it. This is definitely our favorite place so far that we've been to. There is a museum here as well, which has a tremendous amount of artifacts that they found when they were digging up the area. The whole area where Jamestown, where the original Jamestown site was, it's phenomenal. You know, we showed you some clips in there of, they have some of the original floors from the buildings that you can see that they have encased and preserved, and then inside the museum, just way more than we thought was going to be in there. They have some very cool stuff. And all that is included with your park entrance fee that you pay when you come in. So there's no additional fees for that. You can come in and walk all the whole grounds. You can go into the museum, and you know,
cool.
we found today to be a far better value than the museum that we went to yesterday. For sure. The museum yesterday was neat, had a lot of cool stuff, but as far as being in the original site, getting to see some of the original stuff that they found when they were doing the dig here, was pretty awesome.
And I guess some of their stuff is still closed because of COVID, so they have a reduced rate going on right now. It's $12.50 for adults, and kids under, I think, 12 are free. Yeah, so they got the rates changed around a little bit. It really gives you a feel for the challenges that those first settlers had to face when they come over, and it's amazing that anything ever come out of that based on all the challenges they had up front and getting things set up over here. Now we're going to take a drive. You can go out and do a drive on the island loop, so we're going to do that, and before getting ready to head back. So it definitely, between Yorktown and then come over here to see Jamestown, it's definitely going to be a two separate day trip. We had no idea there'd be so much to see, especially here. We really didn't know how much there'd be to see here, and there's been a tremendous amount. We spent a lot of time walking around and looking at different things.
1:15.
So
we've been here a while.
We're going to take a drive on the loop, and we're going to head back to the campground. We're out here on the Jamestown Island Loop, and you can do a 3-mile short loop, or you can do the complete loop, which is 5 miles. We're doing the 5-mile loop, and they just have different pull-offs with some signs, giving you some history of the area and talking about some things that they found out here. All right, so today's our last full day here at Newport News Campground. The park's been great. It's been, you know, it's nothing super fancy. Playgrounds are closed right now, so Dylan was a little disappointed about that. But it's definitely a good spot. It's been quiet. It's a Monday now, so everybody's rolled out yesterday, so we got pretty much the whole place to ourselves yesterday afternoon and today, so it's really nice, super quiet.
Yeah, when we get back today, we'll show you around our site.
And today we're going to wrap up our time here in Newport News with a trip over to Williamsburg. So we've done Yorktown Battlefield, we've done Jamestown, so now we're going to go hit Williamsburg, check it out, and then stop by Newport News Park right down the street and try to get around a disc golf in. So Dylan's pretty excited about that. Get back here, try to get some beef jerky made up, so we got some snacks for the road tomorrow on our trip, and just kind of wrap it up here. So we're going to head over to Williamsburg. We'll show you guys that, so stay tuned.
But our night trip is complete with our ginger cakes, so.
Run that way.
Oh, what's the ginger cake taste like, Dylan? Is it good? Really good?
Yeah.
So we read online that you have to stop at Chowings Tavern if you're in Colonial Williamsburg to get a ginger cake. So we stopped, got Dylan a ginger cake as we walk around downtown. We didn't pay for the extra money to do the tours of the buildings, but we are taking a walk downtown and checking out some of the old buildings. Really cool. Just came past the old courthouse. So we're going to continue our walk down toward the Capitol. Alright, so we made our way all the way to the end of the street here. We've got the Colonial Williamsburg Capitol building. What we have noticed is a lot of stuff is closed up. You can't go into a lot of the buildings, so I'm not sure if it's typically like that or if they're closed due to COVID. I'm not real sure, but like I said, we passed on getting the ticket to go inside the buildings. We also read mixed reviews that the tours really weren't as in-depth as they have been in the past due to COVID and not being able to go access all the rooms in some of the buildings. So we just kind of come out, took a nice walk through downtown Williamsburg. We had to ride the bus over from the visitor center, which was free. It was complimentary. So just kind of take a walk down here. So we're getting ready to hop on the bus back over here behind the building, and we'll take it back to the visitor center. But definitely wanted to at least stop down here for a walk anyway, even if we didn't go inside the buildings. Just want to come down here and see what the area was like. There's our site. See, we're covered up under some nice shade trees. So you can see, I'll show you on this side across the way from us. Sites are not super wide, but the fact that they're not super wide isn't really an issue until you pull in something that has slides. So you can see these poles. We got about this much room between our slide and these white poles, and they have these white poles on, looks like every site. Some have 2 poles, some only have 1 pole, but they have these white poles out, and I don't know if it's to protect the water hookup or keep you from backing over the power box. I don't really know, but so since we had to have room for the slide, we had to scoot way over on the pad. So I'm about 2 feet over onto the paved pad, which puts our tires on this side right on the very, very edge. So if I went over much further, I'd be off the pad, and then we'd be struggling to try to get level. So just something to be aware of with those poles. I mean, I don't know, they don't tell you that those poles are there, but you can see them over here on this site. I mean, they've got them right there on the edge of that site too. I don't know why they put them so close to the edge. If it's to protect the water and power from getting run over, you'd think they would kind of put them in a better place where it wouldn't be in the way of your slides. But they're definitely in the way of the slides. So back to our campsite here. So here's our campsite. There's fixing to be some beef jerky going on that Traeger. There's the back side. I mean, we're backed right up to a nice wooded lot. No neighbors behind us, so it's a nice site. But it would have just been a little bit better if they would have taken some consideration or taken slides into consideration. I mean, so you can see even the power box, I don't have a lot of room there, so I can't park all the way over to the edge of the pad. I had to scoot way over. So but not a huge deal. I mean, we've definitely been in worse sites, that's for sure, but I just think they could have put maybe just a little more thought into it before they started planting those posts in the ground. All right, so that's going to wrap it up here from Newport News, Virginia. It was a good stay. We had a lot of fun exploring the different areas, Yorktown Battlefield, Jamestown, and Williamsburg. I will say Williamsburg didn't have the feel that we kind of were thinking it would have. Yorktown and Jamestown both give you that real historic feel. Williamsburg, to us, and this is just our opinion, felt more touristy than historic. I mean, it was historic, but it felt more like a tourist destination rather than a historic destination. I don't know if I'm explaining it well, but you know, Jamestown especially really gave you that real historic feel. Not allowed to do any videos or anything inside the museum there at the national park there in Jamestown, but if you stop by there, it is well worth it. It's included in the admission. I think we said that it's included with your admission into Jamestown with the national park, so well worth it. That was probably our favorite part of the whole trip. Just the amount of history, the amount of artifacts that they have that they found right there in Jamestown in that area is tremendous. It was really awesome. So we're on to our next spot. So we are headed out. We're going to be doing some boondocking tonight at Army Corps of Engineers Campground. No hookups, but it looks like we're going to have a great view. So we're excited to get there for one night. Appreciate you guys watching. We'll catch you guys down the road.